This is one that utilizes a bill from my colleague, Mrs. McMorris Rodgers, 3917. Most of the language of that bill is in this amendment. It's known as the MALDEN Act, which stands for Making Aid for Local Disasters Equal Now. So the bill would create a 30-day deadline for the approval of disaster declaration requests. If no response is received, then a major disaster would be declared. FEMA would also be required to work with local officials and emergency managers to better prepare for disasters and recovery in the long term. In the event a disaster declaration is denied, FEMA would be required to ensure states are still properly assigning disaster caseworkers to be available for rural communities. The 30-day deadline will not impact the vast majority of disasters. According to the Congressional Research Service, most disaster declaration requests about wildfires receive responses within 21 days and even faster. Been a pretty good record lately. And for all other types of disasters, the average is 13 days. But in some cases where approval drags on longer, the bill will be a lifesaver. It will give state and local officials assurance that they will receive a response in a timely fashion. We know of other cases where it's in some it's taken even years to get a declaration. They've had it hanging out there. And so we think with people's lives on the line, people's livelihoods, and getting their lives back in order, it would be kind of nice in order to have a declaration that could be pending actually decided, because in most cases that data should be well enough available to make a determination. So I urge my colleagues on both sides to allow us to address the gaps in these disaster programs that affect all of rural America, especially, even if they don't necessarily apply to cities and heavily populated areas, which generally are able to get a faster assessment with bigger numbers to begin with. The Dixie Fire in my own district is right at 960,000 acres, which is 1,500 square miles. On the 24th, when the federal government approved the disaster declaration of the fire, it was already at 735, or about 3/4 of that number. The response would be nice if it was more agile, more attentive, and listen more to what the locals are having input on. And I think we get to better conclusions that would not actually be more costly, but just more effective and better serving of all constituents that are at this time of great need. So I'm proud to help carry this amendment, and I think it's certainly worthy of the consideration of the committee. And just look at it in the context, not of trying to undermine the rest of the bill or this or that, but really who we're serving here on those that are in dire need and getting a quick response of an ask for a disaster declaration. It should be pretty easy in most cases to make that assessment and see if it reaches the numbers and give them a thumbs up or thumbs down. That's what people are asking for. So I appreciate the time, Mr. Chairman, and the attention of the committee, and I'll yield back.